Boston on Sunday, June 29th. All roads lead to WWE's Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Live in Boston for the first time ever. See John Cena, Randy Orton, Daniel Bryan, Sheamus, The Shield, The Wyatt family, and more compete to seize the briefcase with the Money in the Bank contract for the chance to become WWE World Heavyweight Champion. It's WWE Money in the Bank, live in Boston Sunday, June 29th. Tickets available Saturday, April 12th.
You already know Kowloon Restaurant, established in 1950 and spanning 4 generations, serves a multi-Asian menu. Did you also know that Kowloon Restaurant is New England's premier Asian dining and entertainment complex, serving Cantonese, Szechuan, Thai, and Polynesian cuisine? And did you know that Kowloon Restaurant is also the home of the finest Japanese sushi? If you haven't dined at Kowloon Restaurant lately, then you simply haven't dined at Kowloon. Kowloon Restaurant, Route 1 North in Saugus.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Harley Race.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
This is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
Wrestling fans, welcome to another installment of Wrestling Insiders. I'm Dan Marati, along with the fabulous one, Mr. John Cena Sr. himself. It is a pleasure to have you here once again, Johnny. We had a lot of feedback to the last time you were here. Very controversial appearance.
Well, it was a great appearance. Had some great fun. We talked about a lot of things. I obviously said how I felt. I came across with things. I told the fans how much weight I'd lost. I told the fans how I did it. ChangeTime.com if you need to lose it. I'm telling you something, since that taping that you and I have done, I have signed up an additional 15 people on the Change Time program, and the average weight loss in 2 weeks has ranged from 12 to 17 pounds.
Unbelievable. We're going to talk more about Change Time today. The big news, though, a lot of people are buzzing about, is the injury to Daniel Bryan that has caused the forfeit of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Daniel had a long run to try and get that gold, winning it at SummerSlam for a mere moments, and then lost it to Randy Orton, who cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase. Randy Orton became the first undisputed champion at the TLC in December, but Daniel Bryan worked his way through the ranks and won the championship in front of 70,000 plus that you were in attendance for at WrestleMania 30. What do you think the future of the WWE World Championship may be at Money in the Bank on June the 29th?
You've got several selections there for the new WWE champion, because I do believe at Money in the Bank they will crown a new champion. My choices right now, Cesaro, Roman Reigns, and I really hate to say this word or words, Bray Wyatt. I think those really now, and Dean Ambrose. Those right now are the 4 top contenders. As far as Daniel Bryan goes, Daniel, you know the business inside out. You and I had several chats when you came to the MWF. There's nothing but respect and love for you here, brother. Heal yourself up. You're married, you've got a wife. Think about what's important. That's your health and your well-being. I can tell you right now that it's not the end of the ride. I am sure that whoever wins that Money in the Bank, there will be another rise to fame and championship for one Daniel Bryan. But I'll tell you what, if I'm going to put my money on somebody to win the WWE
One person, who's going to grab that briefcase June 29th?
Bray Wyatt.
You think it's going to be Bray Wyatt? He has not officially entered the match.
He won
as of
SmackDown.
The day we. Oh, really? Did he?
Won on SmackDown.
Well, you know what? You are a man of many scoops, Mr. Cena. I did not even know that.
I think I read that. If I'm wrong, fans, I stand corrected. But I believe that Bray Wyatt is the next man in Money in the Bank. So I know that we now have Cesaro because he beat Sheamus. And if maybe it's not Bray Wyatt, but if it isn't, I would certainly think that Bray would have a shot at that. And my prediction is, if I were betting on who would win that belt, that Money in the Bank, there's nobody more deceiving, more evil, more despicable, more cunning than one Bray Wyatt. And what a tremendous matchup that would be if Bray Wyatt won that championship and Daniel Bryan not only had to face Bray Wyatt for the heavyweight championship, which I'm sure he'd win, but then have to face the one and only Brock Lesnar.
What about Alberto Del Rio? Do you think he will be leaving Boston with the championship?
Again, I have nothing but respect for Alberto Del Rio. I think that Alberto made a mistake by changing the cars, the scarf, the money gimmick. I think that was a tremendous character. He hasn't reduced himself in any way as far as being a heel. I think the loss of Rodriguez was definitely a loss to Del Rio. However, take nothing away from Alberto Del Rio. Alberto is a tremendous technical wrestler. I've seen him work my son many times. You never know what Del Rio will pull out of his pockets. This man is cunning. Him and Bray Wyatt, you never know what's going to happen there. But let's see what happens. I'm going to be in Boston. You're going to be there?
You know, little Maraudis want to go, so where they want to go is usually where I'll go.
We'll be there.
Unbelievable. Wrestling fans also all over the world are abuzz about what happened on Monday Night Raw with Seth Rollins last week. Joining Triple H's side, perhaps forming a new evolution.
Well, again, business is business. I'm very proud of Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. They are running what I consider to be a business. There's a plan A and there's a plan B. Seth Rollins made in my opinion, a business decision. The decision he made was to go with who he believes is the winning team. Did he stab his teammates in the back, as quote-unquote they're saying? I don't think anybody gets stabbed in the back. I think if they had the ability to make the same decision, they would have decided to do the same thing. They would have gone with what they perceived to be, an up-and-coming winning team. Did he make the right decision for himself? I say yes. Ambrose and his partner, crybabies, Roman Reigns, we're going to get back at you. You turned your back on us, blah, blah, blah. You know what? Shut up and put up. Get in the ring, shut him up, knock him out, knock him down. Keep your mouth shut. Action speaks louder than words. Crying, there's plenty of Kleenex in the back room if you need some. Seth, you did what you did. The only thing I can tell you is this. For every action, there's a reaction. Everything in life comes with a price. He better be ready to pay the price because the two guys are ready for blood. But I think he made a smart business decision. I give Triple H a huge pat on the back. Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, Plan B. Just like the title, Plan B.
Do you think it was the right time to break the Shield up, where they've had so many outstanding pay-per-view matches in 2014?
You know, Dan, you can do a lot as a team, but the more I watched the Shield, the more I began to see that soon, and I don't propose to be a Vincent Kennedy McMahon because there's only one. There will only ever be one genius in this business, and that's Vince McMahon. But my whole thing is, at some point, they had to split, sooner or later. Sooner, maybe a lot of the fans are out there, you listen to some of the wrestling sites, the smarks, oh, it shouldn't have happened now, they should have waited. You know what? You pull the trigger when you have to keep what you're doing alive. Plan B. Look, Roman Reigns, they are saying that he's going to be the next face of the WWE. Well, then if that's the case, sooner or later there's got to be a singles match. Sooner or later the Shield has to break up. So I think they did the right thing. I think very shortly, in the next 3 to 5 months, I think Ambrose and Reigns will be separate. They'll be doing individual things. And I look forward to seeing maybe Mr. Reigns next year might become, after WrestleMania, the next heavyweight champion of the world as he faces Brock Lesnar.
Maybe you could even see it at WrestleMania if he has another performance in the Royal Rumble like he had last year, where he set a record for single eliminations in 1 year.
I will definitely be at WrestleMania in Pasadena, California. As long as the good Lord lets me get there, I will be there. I will be in Pasadena, California.
No, we can be roommates this year.
I will be in Pasadena, California. If I'm going to have a roommate, and fans don't take this the wrong way, blonde, blue eyes, nice.
Deborah? Now let's talk about that, though. We're going to, again, like last year, we'll just throw the outline away. You and Lady Deborah.
We had a good time.
We did have a good time. You and Lady Deborah, though, you had quite a night at the Kowloon back at our Holiday Headlocks event. The world-famous Kowloon Entertainment and Dining Complex, Route 1 in Saugus.
I had a chance to meet a lot of fans. I had some great dining, as I always do.
Absolutely.
Thanks to Bobby and Andy Wong and the whole Wong family and the staff at the Kowloon. I can't thank you enough. Bobby, Maitre d' down there, thank you so much for your kindness. And we signed autographs that night. We had an outstanding turnout. Deborah McMichaels was there. We chatted. I think that was the beginning and the end of it. I don't think there was anything else beyond that point.
The TMZ type websites, they cite that was not the conclusion of things.
Well, then, you know, Dan, I don't know what's in my coffee right now, but I certainly must have missed something, because I do recall that we took a group photo. There was Quincy, there was Santa, there was Ted DiBiase, there was Al Snow, there was Dan Morade, there was John Cena Sr., and Deborah McMichaels, and the Godfather himself. That's the last of it. Then I took my guests, we went downstairs, and we had dinner. That was it.
How many times did you eat that night?
I didn't eat upstairs. I'll be very honest with you.
Why?
Because some of the food I wasn't able to eat, wasn't on my program.
Oh, that's right.
So I went downstairs, and then I was able to eat the teriyaki, the chicken wings, the Szechuan beef, and I had some a chicken. So that's that. Not that the food was not good. It's just that I did have a couple of nibbles off the chicken wings, and I cheated and had a crab ragoon. But outside of that, I waited till I went downstairs. That was the end of it. I mean, we chatted, we said hello. I found out what she's doing for education, that she does want to be a criminologist. She does want to become part of the FBI and move to Washington. I believe that she will succeed. This woman is driven by a desire to succeed, and that's the key to anything in life. The key to the MWF succeeding, the key to you and I succeeding as a team, because I really mean this. And all stuff aside, you take the two greatest minds right here, right now, put them together and put together a wrestling show, and I think we'll have something that's unbeatable. Not that you haven't had before. I'm not going to argue that point. I think you've done very well at what you did with what you had to work with. But again, she's just driven for success, and you've got to admire that. She's a very nice person, very nice to chat with, but it was a limited chat, and I know that she was chatting with Al Snow, and that was, and you all disappeared. And because Quincy, I think Quincy probably wanted to take her home, but I don't know if that happened.
No, Reno actually kissed her head. He missed the face and wound up in the hair.
Well, I don't know what TMZ is saying about me, but I never got a kiss.
Well, you will be seeing Deborah this month. It'll be interesting to see what rumors and stories may come of that.
I don't know. Where will I see Deborah this month? I have no idea where I'm going to see Deborah.
Down at the fan reunion in Rhode Island.
Oh, down in Providence, Rhode Island at the hotel. That's going to be something else. It's going to be something else. We're going to have a lot of memorabilia, autographs. Deborah McMichael's going to be down there now. Wow, I didn't know that. I'll be bringing down some Fabo Pop, chocolate Fabo cigars for the kids, my own private labeled, hand-rolled cigars. You know, if you want to see what the products is I have, go to my website.
Give it the cheap plug, brother.
Can I do it?
Absolutely.
You're such a great guy. I tell you something. It's JohnnyFabulousCena.com. You know, and I just think that what we have is quality products. I want to let you know one thing, that I'm not selling the wine online.
That's probably for the best.
Yes, I will sell individual bottles if I see people that I know, like yourself, that are old enough to partake of alcohol. And what I've done with the cigars, just to let the fans know, they can only be bought from me at the shows. And you've got to be 18 and over to buy them. And then anything else, you'd have to click on the product. You are directed to Two Guys Smoke Shop, Salem, New Hampshire. They roll and make the cigars for me, and they are the specific, strict, only agent for Johnny Fabulous Cigars, John Cena Senior Cigars, my $1 Million Smokes. You buy through them, they will charge, they will ship. It's all them.
Unbelievable fans. If you want anything John Cena Senior related, get on over to JohnnyFabulousCena.com, click on the store, and there's all kinds of other stuff on your new website as well.
Yeah, if you want to get married, I'm a Justice of the Peace. There's also a little setup there.
Not that one.
No, that one. That you can click on that and you can get a hold of me. I've got 3 weddings already for the month of July, so I'm happy to talk to the fans about doing their weddings and have some fun. It's just, life is great and I'm really enjoying it.
June is a big month here for wrestling fans in New England, especially the second half. We mentioned the fan reunion, but on June 20th, WWE is going to be in Providence. For the fans in the great state of Maine, they have 2 options on June the 28th. We'll have one half of WWE will be in Bangor, the other half will be in Portland, Maine. For fans in the Boston area, June 27th and 28th, Mick Foley is going to be at the Kowloon Entertainment and Dining Complex, Route 1 in Saugus.
Going to be there on the 28th myself. I can't wait to see Mick Foley, my good friend, even though I've taken Sacco from him. I can't tell you how many times. I will be in Providence, Rhode Island on the 20th. Can't wait to see that show. And
Money in the Bank on the 29th.
29th, I'll be in Boston for Money in the Bank.
And then the month rounds out, June 30th, Raw is
21st,
live.
I'm down there 21st.
I'm talking about June 30th, Monday Night Raw in Hartford, live. 3-hour extravaganza. Who will you get into combat with on this Monday Night Raw if you were there? Because you can't seem to go a WWE TV taping or pay-per-view without having some kind of physical altercation with the WWE superstar. The list goes on and on. Even in your own home, you've had altercations with WWE superstars.
The only superstar I have not had an altercation with, I'm really not looking for one, is Bray Wyatt. I'm not a fan of Sister Abigail, or now Seth Rollins. You never know what the WWE has up their sleeve, but I think it's just going to be a quiet June 30th down in Hartford, Connecticut. I don't expect any surprises like Randy Orton turning around and blindsiding me, almost fracturing the socket in my eye, and he did partially dislocate my jaw. So it's like, you know what? Che sarà, as we say in Italian. Whatever will be, will be. We'll see.
You've had altercations, like, as I mentioned, in your home. You had Edge and Lita come, 2 Hall of Famers, slapped you across your face in your den.
He slapped pretty hard. He knocked me right down to the floor, right in my own home, to the point where I almost had to call the police. After the slap, I did call the police. I've had that, my own home. Mm-hmm.
Then Chris Jericho you've dueled with?
Yes, Jericho and I had some altercations by the ring and while he's in the ring. But I will tell you this, Chris Jericho is a fan of Fabo Pop.
He likes the drink.
Fabo Pop. Matter of fact, he had a bottle of that icing up right after one of the matches he had in Boston.
Really? CM Punk, you gave him a right hand at one point?
CM Punk is a tremendous, tremendous athlete, sadly missed in the wrestling business. Yes, I did. I worked with CM Punk. I also...
DX?
Yes, I've got 2 words for you. I wish I could find that on tape.
I wish I was there to see it. Sadly, I missed that TV taping. I remember we had an interesting night here at the studio the night before, without getting into the details.
Yep.
There was a little undercover operation going on about who was going to Worcester.
Yep, and I just wish I could have. I wish I could have got. I don't know if anybody can find that on YouTube for me, but I'd really like to see that. DX, Chris Jericho, the Fabo Pop. I remember how that whole DX started. Triple H was talking about a wristwatch, and he pointed to my watch, and he said, it's probably a junky old Timex, so why don't we get the old man in the ring? I didn't know who he was talking about. Next thing you know, security's coming over, and I said, they're going to throw me out. And they did. They said, come on over the barrier, you're getting in the ring. And we did the DX thing. I got 2 words for you if you're not down with that. Yep, and I also, when CM Punk turned face, and Bryan was a heel, if you remember, I headbutted Bryan in the chest.
In the Tsonga Center in Lowell.
That's correct. You know, and I really have to say this, I cannot thank the WWE, Vince McMahon, Triple H, CM Punk, Lita, Edge, Daniel Bryan, Chris Jericho, Bray Wyatt. I can't thank you enough for allowing me to do what I've done at the WWE level. I just want to say thank you publicly. Really is. It's been an honor and a privilege. Thank you so much.
Let's give the fans a little bit of your background, Johnny. It is very unusual that we see the junior in this case come to the limelight, and then the senior comes along. Usually it's a generation type thing where you see, like the Orton family. It was grandfather, father, son. In this case, it seemed to be son, father. But you had a background in wrestling long before that.
Right, but I am second generation.
You are second generation, but explain to the fans exactly what you've done here in wrestling and how you came to be so fabulous in 2014.
I'm not sure about being so fabulous, but it all started when I was a young kid. I had a tremendous interest in professional wrestling. Gordon Soley, Walter Kowalski, Yukon Eric, Chief Jay Strongbow, another good friend, God rest his soul. I did the last autograph signing with him at FanFest in Rhode Island. Bruno Sammartino, who I've had the opportunity to chat with, thank you, tremendous man. Nikolai Volkov, Ivan Koloff. I watched all these guys on TV.
Now, I don't want to out your age or anything, but were you a fan back when the Dumont Network aired wrestling on weeknights, or was that before your time?
I think that's before my time.
That was before okay.
Yep, that was before my time. Lincoln and I never watched TV together. But I will tell you this, that I was so interested in it that I answered somebody who asked me, said they're looking for some help. They need somebody to take care of the promoting. In other words, if you wanted to run a show at the Melrose Hall through the WWF, then Abe Ford was in charge of that. They would give you a jingle, and they would have somebody go around, help promote, bring the stars, and make sure it was set up. That was my job. I had a lot of fun doing that. And that was my experience in professional wrestling. I remember doing a show at Salem State, and there was Classy Freddie Blassie, there was Stan Stasiak, the Great Wizard, Victor Rivera's brother, was it?
Mac?
No, the other Rivera. He was there. Jimmy Valiant was there. And I remember the police officers saying to me, because I was the guy in charge now, they said, there's to be no swearing, no blood, and no chairs. Well, it didn't seem to work out that way because when Stan came out, Stasiak, he took the roll of tape he was going to use on Victor Rivera, or I forget the other Rivera kid's name, but he set it on the turnbuckle. Mm-hmm. This 70-year-old woman saw it, and as Stasiak went to tie up, she went and grabbed the tape.
Really?
Stan turned around, and she gave him the #1 sign, and there was all this swearing going on, and the police officers just kind of looked at me. What can I do? And then, of course, he gave the hot punch, and that was it. And then Blassie was in the ring, and I'm sitting at the timekeeper's table, and I can remember Freddie came down, and he said, "Give me the chair, Cena." I said, "Freddie, no chairs. Give me the goddamn chair." And he took the chair and proceeded to wail the other wrestler, and then somebody decided it was time to color. I knew it was, just take me home. It's over. I'm going to jail. And as it was, the police officers were upset, but they were happy. The organization made several $1,000s that night.
Good.
The superstars were outstanding. And again, I had the opportunity, which I do now, to work with some of the people that I watched on TV. God rest his soul, Classy Freddie Blassie, Stan Stasiak, God rest his soul. And I've had the opportunity to sign autographs with Jimmy Valiant, Superman, great guy. So that was my start. And then I get married. When I get married, I I'm a firm believer that in life, there are two things that are important: familia and your position, your job. Obviously, your wife, you love your wife dearly, and I did love my sons and my wife. And then my family started to come, and I said, this is it. I'm all done. Well, 34 years later, tragedy strikes. You know, I don't know what happened, how it happened. I had a tough temper then. I've grown up an awful lot since then. I'm not afraid to say that to the fans. Being Italian, we all seem to have these short fuses. I don't have those anymore, thank God. Sometimes you need a kick in the ass to wake you up, and I guess that was it. She woke me up. And I went through what I call a dark time of my life. It was a very tough divorce. And it was tough in the terms of not monetary-wise, or it was tough that I lost my best friend. My sons were not speaking to me. I was having a tough time with myself. And John had gone to California. He was involved with UPW. And there was an ad in the paper for Star Wars Wrestling. Himself, Knuckles Nelson, was advertising for a ring announcer. So I talked to John on the phone because he was going to get his contract to go down to OVW. I said, you know, John, I'm pretty depressed, blah, 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 and there's an ad in the newspaper for a ring announcer. What do you think? He said, you know, Dad, it's about time you open the windows, open the door, get up your ass and do something. Do what you love to do. And I love professional wrestling. So I went down and tried out, and Knuckles was very, very kind. He said, you have a great set of pipes, you have a great voice, but I'm going to use somebody else. I said, no problem. And I did. There was another organization that had asked me if I would do ring announcing. And I said, no, I'm going to go to this other promotion and do ring announcing for me. No, hold on. He said, I'm looking for somebody to be a heel manager. Well, now I have a smile on my face. And so we argued about names: Johnny Cash, Johnny Blue, Johnny Wright. And I said, you know, this is going to be so fabulous. And he goes, that's it. Johnny Fabulous. Okay, now we got to develop the character. Well, what do most people hate? They hate people that are rich, that have everything, that are demeaning. I developed that character around what I perceived to be Johnny Fabulous. And so Johnny Fabulous was born at Star Wars Wrestling. I remember I was sitting there taking notes in the audience. People thought I was from TNA or WWE.
That happened in the MWF too, as a matter of fact.
And it worked out very well there
Excellent,
too.
Yep.
Yep, and then it just began to grow and grow. And then, I don't know, it was 5 or 6 years later that Vince McMahon had me do something and coined John Cena Sr., my real name.
Oh, no. I came up with John Cena Sr.
Well, Vince McMahon...
It was never used before that. Vince McMahon... He's
McMahon,
done a lot more with the name.
Vince McMahon came up with the John Cena Sr. thing. I have to tell you this, before you. And so now I wrestle or perform. I got to use that word, perform now. Perform.
You had one match.
I'm sorry?
You had one match in WWE.
I had a... Well, and you have the statistics on that, and I hope they're true. That was the... And I have that on DVD, and whenever I think I don't know how to perform, I turn that on and watch my main event against Randy Orton. And you say that the numbers picked up to what?
I think there was 3-7, if I remember correctly.
And there was how many more people that tuned in?
That's pushing 4.5, 5 million people, depending upon how many viewers there are watching TV that night.
So an extra 400,000 or 500,000 tuned in to watch me get my ass kicked. I've had some good things happen with WWE. As you know, I did the This Is Your Life, John Cena. I've been attacked, and that was a real sucker attack by Randy Orton. Unexpected. I got to tell you, I've had some fun. And so John Cena Sr., Johnny Fabulous, has been doing fun, having fun, going all over the place. I've been to Atlanta. I was just down to Florida. September, I'm going back to New Orleans to do a show. I go down to, as you know, the South to do stuff with Dylan Cage.
Carolinas, yep.
Yep. I've been asked to go to New York. So I'm just having fun. I'm just having fun doing what I'm doing, and pray the good Lord just keeps giving me the strength and the health to continue to enjoy myself. Working with Brickhouse Baker with his shows. another organization,
Whether a good guy or a bad guy, you certainly have become one of the most beloved figures in all of New England, wrestling-wise. I don't think you can disagree with that. I'm sure you will, but
I don't know what that really means. All I know is this: whether I'm good or I'm bad, I have a dedication to the business, and I have a dedication to the fans. I love the fans, and I mean this. Without the fans, John Cena Sr., Johnny Fabulous, Randy Orton, Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, we're nothing. Without you, we are nothing. So no matter where I am, I will take the time to sign autographs. I've taken soda pop and given it away. I've given away cigars. I've given away T-shirts. And I'm not saying hooray for me. I've got a show coming up the 19th for Children's Hospital. The 21st, we've got a show in Natick. Is that it?
yes,
In Natick at the
middle school, I believe.
middle school in Natick for Make-A-Wish, and hopefully I'll be able to make that show. But it's something I love, and the people are somebody that I love, and so I just do what I normally do and try to make people happy doing what I do. I'm honored. I really am honored, and I mean this, that people would ask me for my autograph or want to take a picture with me. I'm really honored by that, and I'm humbled. I really am.
Unbelievable. We're running out of time in this edition, John. He's still, like last time, so many topics to cover. We're going to be back soon with much more. For Mr. Cena, chugging on that Dunkin' Donuts, I'm Dan Marotti. We'll see you next time. Be well, fans.